right, cutting across to breaking news coming in. These are pictures that are just streaming in as we talk. Pictures from the national capital, Patiala House Court to be precise, that is all set to pronounce the order on the bail plea of Bollywood actor Jacqueline Fernandez. This is in the money laundering case of 200 crore rupees. Jacqueline Fernandez has just reached the Patiala House Court. You see those pictures that are coming in live from the national capital. Jacqueline Fernandez at the Patiala House Court in connection with the 200 crore extortion case involving Sukesh Chandrasekhar, the multimillionaire conman, and she has just reached the Patiala House Court. She'd moved a regular bail application before the court, and the court will be hearing the argument on her regular bail plea. The Enforcement Directorate recently had filed its second supplementary charge sheet naming her as an accused. I want to cut across to Harsha, who's joining us live on the broadcast. Harsha, over to you for what's happening at this point. Jacqueline making her way into the Patiala House Court.
Thank you.
All right, not too sure if Harsha can hear me at this point, but we stay with those pictures because once again, for the benefit of our viewers, these are pictures that are streaming in live, just coming in from the national capital, Patiala House Court to be precise, where Jacqueline Fernandez is just making her way inside. This is in connection with the 200 crore extortion case involving Sukesh Chandrasekhar, where she has moved a regular bail application before the court. The Enforcement Directorate that had recently filed its second supplementary charge sheet naming her as an accused. I believe Harsha is back with us. Harsha, we stay with those pictures. Jacqueline making her way inside the court to hear her bail plea. What's happening there?
Exactly. Right now, I'm also outside Patiala House Court, and Jacqueline Fernandez has just reached Patiala House Court. A very important hearing today because finally Jacqueline will be given bail, or her bail will be dismissed. A very important decision will be announced by Patiala High Court judge. As we saw yesterday, the order was kept reserved by the judge after hearing from the Enforcement Directorate and the lawyers of Jacqueline Fernandez. As Enforcement Directorate clearly stated in their argument that Jacqueline should not be given bail because she's trying to flee from the country and she's not cooperating in the investigations, and there are some serious allegations against her. While the lawyers of Jacqueline Fernandez and Jacqueline herself stated that she was not aware of the LOC which was issued against Jacqueline Fernandez, and therefore when she reached the airport, at that time immigration officers told, and she went back from the airport. She didn't go out and she cooperated with the investigation. She's also one of the victims of the circumstances. These were the things which were stated by Jacqueline Fernandez lawyer and Jacqueline Fernandez. Today, a very important decision as we show you the visuals from Patiala House Court. All eyes on today's order because judge has reserved the order, and today a very important hearing will take place. ED has clearly stated and argumented against the bail of Jacqueline Fernandez. ED stated that she was enjoying the proceeds of crime which was through the 200 crore extortion which Sukesh Chandrasekhar has done from the businessman and from other people as well, and she was enjoying the proceeds of crime. She was tempted by the wealth of Sukesh Chandrasekhar. She knew all about Sukesh Chandrasekhar, and then also she was not cooperating when we were showing the evidence to Jacqueline Fernandez. Then after that she was answering. She didn't cooperate in the entire investigation, while Jacqueline clearly stated that she has cooperated. She didn't go abroad for her work. She every time kept coming, and every time whenever she was called for the investigation in the office of Enforcement Directorate in the national capital. So all eyes whether Jacqueline Fernandez bail or jail will be given today, because right now the hearing will start in a short while at between 3 to 3:30. The order which was reserved yesterday after the hearing, because yesterday a long hearing was held up to till about 1 hour between arguments were heard by the judge from the side of Enforcement Directorate and by the lawyers of Jacqueline Fernandez. So the very important decision has to come today because Enforcement Directorate clearly stated that there is 7 crore of jewelry. Not only jewelry, purses, clutches, watches, luxury cars, which all Jacqueline Fernandez was given by Conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar. Jacqueline not once stated herself that she got all these gifts from Conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar. She in fact tried to delete data from her phone. These were the things which these were the arguments which Enforcement Directorate lawyers kept in front of the judge. While court also clearly stated to Enforcement Directorate that if there were sufficient evidence, then why Jacqueline Fernandez was not arrested till now? Why there was a pick and choose format by Enforcement Directorate? So right now we are showing you the visuals from outside Patiala House Court. Lot of movement outside and inside Patiala House Court as every eyes on the bail or jail order of Jacqueline Fernandez today. In some while the judge will sit in his seat, and after some time the order which was resolved yesterday, the order will be announced by the judge. Back to you.
Continue talking to us, Harsha, because both Jacqueline and Noora Fatehi had recorded their statements as witnesses, and like you were mentioning that FDs to the tune of 7.2 crore rupees that were attached by the ED, because the ED is terming the gifts and proceeds gifts given to Jacqueline by Sukesh Chandrasekhar as proceeds of crime. And hence the ED is now moving forth in this case. But really, in terms of the kind of evidences they have against Jacqueline and what they have been saying in the court until now is something that must be said.
See, there are so many things. Enforcement Directorate clearly stated that there was 7.2 crore FD, and there were jewelry, and there were cash, and there were lot of private jet trips were organized for Jacqueline by Conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar. Hotel arrangements were made so far, and all these details were not given by Jacqueline Fernandez at the time of interrogation when Enforcement Directorate was doing with Jacqueline Fernandez. Jacqueline Fernandez came to Delhi NCR 4 times for the interrogation in front of ED officers, and not once she gave the evidence and supported at the time of investigation. When the evidence was showed to her that these are the evidence that you were linked to Conman Sukesh, he gifted you all such items. At that time she used to answer. She tried to delete the entire data from her phone, be it the messages or be it any sort of document, be it the phone call messages, everything she tried to delete, and all those were retrieved by Enforcement Directorate. And when asked, then she replied how she knew Conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar. Though Jacqueline has clearly stated that these all are said by ED, but nothing as such has happened, because the gifts she has received by Conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar, she didn't knew that those gifts were through the extorted money that Sukesh Chandrasekhar extorted, and these were the proceeds of crime. She was not tempted by the wealth. She didn't knew she herself is the victim of the circumstances, right? The others were cheated. Similarly, Jacqueline was herself cheated, and she is one of the victims. She's not being treated as a victim, but she's being treated by Enforcement Directorate as an accused. Jacqueline clearly stated all these things in front of the court. And let me tell you that the interim bail of Jacqueline Fernandez ended on 10th of November, and today we have to see if she doesn't get a bail. If a bail gets dismissed, then she will instantly move for High Court. And right now in the morning hours, the entire planning of if her bail gets dismissed, if she doesn't get bail, then how will she move towards High